What's up, guys? Hope everybody's all doing well. If you're new to the channel, please hit the like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate that. And in today's video, I want to talk about Dmitry Bivol's unanimous decision victory over Zurdo Ramirez. And what was actually turned out to be a pretty comfortable victory for Dmitry Bivol. In the pre-fight video, I did pick Bivol to win. I think I picked him by decision. I may have even picked him by late stoppage. I can't remember, but I think I picked Bivol to win by a decision. And he ended up winning pretty comfortably, but the fight didn't really play out as I expected, because I expected Zurdo Ramirez to be a little bit more aggressive and try and, kind of impose his size over Dmitry Bivol. I didn't think he would try and outbox Dmitry Bivol, which, like I say, was a surprise to me. But off the jump, Dmitry Bivol came out. He looked, to me, much more confident out of the two fighters, and he immediately kind of took control of the fight with his ring generalship and his body language. He was, more aggressive than I expected, and like I say, he was in control of, where the fight was taking place. And like I say, he was in the pocket more than I expected as well. I expected him to kind of more be just boxing on the outside on his back foot, but like I say, he was quite aggressive, and he was applying that kind of mental and physical pressure as well. But he'd be just on the edge of range there, where Zurdo Ramirez would try and get some shots off, and then Dmitry Bivol would get outside of range using that pendulum step, push back off his front foot, let Zurdo Ramirez overextend with his left hand, and he'd counter him with the right hand. And I think he hurt or stunned Zurdo Ramirez a few times in this fight, in my opinion. I don't think Bivol's the best finisher, a great finisher, but he punches hard enough to definitely stun you and hurt you. And I think he earned Zurdo Ramirez's respect pretty early in the fight, which is similar to kind of why Anthony Joshua wasn't able to try and get physical and impose his size advantage on Usyk, was because in that first fight, Usyk nailed Joshua with the left hand early that kind of wobbled him, and immediately that puts that doubt in your mind of, I can't get over aggressive, or I can't overextend, because he can hurt me with that. In this case, with that right hand that Bivol has, it's a spear-like right hand that he was hitting Zurdo Ramirez with, as well as him, being much faster than Ramirez. I knew he was faster than him, but I didn't know he was that much faster than him. I mean, the speed gap between the two guys, both foot speed and hand speed, was quite, I wouldn't say surprising, but it was definitely, it was a big gap. Let's just say that. And also, speed will make a fighter hesitant. And we saw Zurdo Ramirez was kind of, a little bit hesitant, was definitely not as aggressive as he should have been, in my opinion. Because in the pre-fight, we were saying, what Zurdo's going to have to do is he's going to have to try and cut the ring off. And when he gets Bivol on the ropes, he's going to have to try and keep him on the ropes and not let him off, because in past fights, we'd seen that from Zurdo. He'd maybe cut the ring off and get you on the ropes, but then he'd spoil that hard work that he had just done by giving you a route to escape out the side. And in this fight, he didn't even really get Bivol onto the ropes much at all. But when he did, Bivol was easily able to kind of use his lateral movement and get out the side, and take the open space and get back to the center of the ring. And actually then he would kind of turn it on Zurdo and let his hands go, which was obviously great boxing IQ from Bivol to do that, as that's obviously going to play a big part in how the judges are seeing the fight, when you're spinning a guy off and letting those fast combinations go on him, which he did quite frequently in this fight. He was letting his hands go with those sharp combinations, and then he would get out of range and back to safety. It was very smart and technical performance by Dmitry Bivol, using his speed advantage both with his hand speed and foot speed, getting in and out of range when he wanted to, and being very defensively responsible while doing so. Overall, it was a very good performance from Dmitry Bivol. Boxed beautifully, in my opinion. And let me know your guys' thoughts and opinions on this fight in the comment section below. I thought it was pretty disappointing from Zurdo Ramirez, the game plan that he brought in of trying to outbox the boxer. It was okay, in my opinion, for him to try that in the first few rounds, and he did win a couple rounds here and there using his boxing ability as well. But like, surely him and the corner should have known, once the second half of the fight started, I need to change up the game plan. Yeah, I need to try and get physical. Yeah, I need to try and change up my style or approach a fight. Yeah, because Bivol's pulling away, he's stacking up the rounds now, and he's outboxing me and doing so pretty comfortably. I'm gonna have to try and get a little bit rugged, and you have to try and get a little bit rough. But like I say, maybe due to Dmitry Bivol just getting his respect with his, punching hard enough and stunning him a few times, as well as having that blinding hand speed, this made Zurdo very hesitant. So that's probably the reasons as to why he didn't make any adjustments and try and get physical with Bivol, because he probably felt like if he does do that, it's just going to give Bivol more chances to counter him and hurt him with the sharp counters that he was landing, and as well as with those combinations he was letting go on him. So I get that, it's not simply that easy to just change up your strategy, because your opponent is obviously putting that doubt in your mind, and I think Bivol did a really good job of that. And Bivol was a very smart performance from Dmitry. Great defense and high guard, using both distance control and his high guard defense when Zurdo did get in range and try and get off attacks. Dmitry's high guard defense is one of the best in the sport, I think, and got very good legs as well. Very smart use of his lead hand as well as a blinder. Dmitry just overall put on a brilliant performance, I thought. And let me know what your guys' thoughts and comments are on this fight in the comment section below. Hopefully we do get to see the big fight between him and Artur Beterbiev. Hopefully next. I know Beterbiev is supposed to fight, and Niyad, who's his mandatory, but maybe they can work out a deal to where he gets some step-aside money and then gets a crack, first crack at all the belts, at the winner of the fight between Bivol and Artur Beterbiev. But I think Artur Beterbiev versus Dmitry Bivol might be the best fight in the sport in terms of, it's a very hard fight to pick a winner, in my opinion. And it might, like I said, I think it probably is the best fight in the sport at the moment, or definitely one of them. It's certainly up there. I'm really not sure I would pick in that fight, because Dmitry Bivol, he's an extremely disciplined master boxer that's able to, really stick to a game plan. He's got a great poker face. He shows no emotions in there. He's almost like a robot. And then you got Artur Beterbiev, who's like a machine, and that just keeps coming. So that'd be a hell of a fight, and a fight that I really wouldn't actually know who to pick in that fight. But like I said, let me know your guys' thoughts on who would win that fight in the comment section below. Anyways, guys, thanks for listening. Talk to you guys again soon. Cheers.